Hey everyone, Nam here again. I'm going to make a quick video, my support for the Second Amendment, and it's going to be a personal story that uh, more or less affected me because we could have all the law-abiding citizens turning their guns because, well, they're law-abiding citizens and follow the rules of society. Meanwhile, even if, let's just say, the criminals were to be like, okay, we'll just give you our guns, they'd still go back and have access to breaking the rules by still getting the guns where they get them in the first place because they can't get them legally because they are not people who follow the law. Now, this story is an interesting one. Uh, this was when I was little. My dad he was a police officer actually. This was during the days when police officers weren't hated as much, thanks to the media's outrage from. Well, I'm not saying that police officers are perfect, mind you. My dad's come across police officers who he's actually told, that they've sucked and don't know how to do their job, especially more so uh, recent years too. Because and I trust my dad's judgment. But getting back to the point and topic at hand, my the Second Amendment essentially saved and protected our my livelihood. So I was probably in elementary school, probably or middle school age around this time. My dog, family dog, Petey was his name. Very smart dog. Out of all the dogs I had, I mean, I love Shamsky, the most recent dog that I had. But he was just not very good judgment of people, so he was very defensive and he would growl. It took him time to get you to trust him. But Petey, he could just read people. He'd go up and love you. He'd go up and, um, you know, uh, be able to get a good sense and then obviously go this middle of the night. Petey was aware this is not normal, and my parents were like, "What's going on?" So my dad went out, saw that a car was coming down the driveway, and he told my mom, "Don't let anyone." I think he was telling her, "Don't let anyone get in. Keep the doors locked. There are people coming down the driveway." He grabbed his gun, and so he actually tells our dog Petey, "Petey, do not make a noise." And Petey didn't actually. Petey kept quiet, so he turned. We had a light. We had a driveway length of a football field, which, mind you, was not fun during this winter having to help plow that. Uh, but anyway, there was this. It was like a almost like a. Gosh, what was it? There was this light out in the middle of this. I want to say this feature that we had in our driveway, and it just happened to have the light on, and we could turn the light on from inside, from all the turned it. I know I'm getting verbally uh, confused here, but you turned it on from the inside of the house, and it actually turned it. The light would come on. So we had the deck here before that light, and my dad slowly and cautiously walked, and was again telling the dog to be quiet. Uh, the car stopped finally and got out, and I I think what he did first was he got our dog, let our dog Petey. He had him held on the leash, and he let Petey come out like he was by himself. Petey started growling, puffing, puffing, and my dad said to the two gentlemen, I suggest you get back in your car and leave because whatever my dog doesn't, whatever uh, you know, I don't get or finish, my dog will. So he had my dad again. I said had his gun, and whatever he would shoot, if he had to shoot, he would shoot him to protect my mother, my brother, my sister, and me. Uh, because they started say their defense suddenly was, "Oh, we're looking for our dog. It's 2 a.m. in the morning, mind you." My dad obviously called bullshit and said, "Get back in your car now." And again, just reiterating the fact that again, whatever I don't finish, my dog will. And I can tell. I mean, P like I said was Now he knew these weren't good people, so he started huff and puffing. You know how an animal does to make themselves look bigger, and I could just tell. They immediately got in their car and went back up uh, the driveway, and so I mean, yes, we had our dog, but we don't know what other. Let's just say if my dad didn't have his gun, because I have to know, I have to believe, and I do believe my dad did show his gun. Let's just say if we didn't have the gun, uh, we could have, those two people could have jumped my dad. Even let's just, we don't know what was in their car. We don't know what they had on them. Once they saw a man had his a gun and a dog to help protect his home and his basically his border from being entered illegally, who knows what happened? I mean, and then who knows what could have happened after that? Because I'm sure they would have broken in the house, tried to do a robbery, uh, maybe harmed others because with in their plans during situations like that, if someone is if they're being caught by the people that live in the house that they're stealing, they'll shoot them too because they don't want people to be able to testify or witness again to be a witness against them if a trial or uh, if something like that happens because they despite for how stupid they are for breaking the law they are trying to think ahead just in case but so yes personally I am for the second amendment. I am a big advocate and proponent of it. uh sure, yeah, but it's if I could be able to tell like if there's going to be if there's going to be someone that uses it as evil, uses a gun to be evil just to kill someone, of course we would all want to be able to prevent that. Unfortunately, we don't live in a world like that, and that's why um, you know they say about the good guy with a gun being able to stop a bad guy with a gun. I mean, like you had the shooter in Texas. Like, I don't understand how the police. There's more to that story. Let that shooter get in and then wait for so long to go in before they got the okay. Before the shooter killed 21 people in all. Uh, but that's just my personal story, my personal belief, and just kind of more or less my convictions with the Second Amendment. And I believe if you did disarm a country, people will want to say, "Oh, we're just talking about AR-15." Well, if you start with one thing, then it's going to be another, and if you give pretty soon, if you don't have anything to protect yourself from a government, you get tyranny. I mean, just ask like the not just ask Germany back in the when the Nazis tried to take everything, did take everything away from them. Uh, so that's just my belief. I believe we have a right to protect ourselves, our loved ones, and I was protected that night by my dad's. Uh, not only his instinct and ability to assess the situation and understand the severity of it, but we were protected by a gun and a loving dog too. That was really smart and realizing this is not normal, especially this time of the day. But so again, that's I hope you enjoyed that story. That's just my a personal story that happened. Uh, Feel free to let me know if you've ever had anything, a situation where you've had to use a gun or a loved one had to use a gun, and I'd love to hear it and hear from you. So with that said, as always, I'm Nam, and always use your noodle.